Commission. No, I just wanted to say one thing about this technical and non-technical subject. See, this was also discussed. But no, these days it's felt that everyone must have some knowledge of, some technical knowledge of, say, computers, some systems one must know. Otherwise, it's very difficult to handle these jobs. So this was also discussed, there should be some technical knowledge of computers and some systems they should know. Now the other thing what you've said, that direct recruitment, you were talking about some direct recruitment. Now see, the question here is, whatever the quota, what are the norms, framework within which you make these kind of decisions or make these kind of appointments. There must be some norms, some rules and regulations as on the basis of which you discuss or decide these quotas, whatever it is in each department. That is one thing. And you talked about confidentiality, all these rules and regulations are there, but they're not followed. So what do we do about that, when you're talking about rules, regulations and institutional norms, etc. It must be, that is why we said sensitivity to the job and to the people. How honest can our people who occupy these posts? That is something, you can't put it down in rules and regulations. That is something, you have to inculcate, and then and if there are rules and regulations which punish a person who doesn't follow the norms, then there is a compulsion to follow. But I don't know if that is there at all in our system. That is why it is not followed. So these are, lot of things can be said, many things can be written down, but you can't write down everything. Ultimately, integrity is something we have to inculcate. Thank you very much.
I am afraid, ma'am, I don't think there is any test to test the honesty and value systems. So with this, thank you all the speakers, and even the questions you have to be very brief. We have about 10 to 15 minutes maximum. So kindly bear with us. Be specific to the topic. If you want to ask any question, please, it's open. The government will not notify the vacancy. Government will not notify, will not send the vacancy portion. In spite of that one, the panel should be there. They should notify. Other vacancies will come, they will kill them during that period. I am telling, they are waiting for the last 2-3 years. What will happen? The promoted will come to the post, they will have to wait. Then they will divide it, they will go to the court. Unnecessary. They may not work. It is happened by the public. That's why you should not wait for vacancies. Every year they should notify. Group 1 officer, group 2 officer, group 3, group 4. What are the vacancies? Do this time. Second thing, once you call for the service particulars, for example, for retiring, there should be a very commission. During this period, how much persons are retiring from what categories? They note every year. They will notify from that particular purpose, leave them for 70%, 60% or 70%, will promote this, and remaining 30%, direct recruitment. You post them directly. But don't give. And second thing, should complete within 1 year. By December, January to December. What are vacancies, what are positions, you fill it. Yeah. Second thing, this service must be based on the Union Public Service Commission. The many persons, they will apply for IAS, first they will prefer having some knowledge. So that may not be changed, not more than 20%. My humble request, not more than 20% should not change the service. 80% service may be adopted as per the Union Public Service Commission. Second thing, our universities, they should also adopt for generate the employment. But their education is not for generate for employment. Or you take engineering colleges, if you attach to any factory or something, at least they will know the practical knowledge. They will go outside, they will earn on stand and their food. That education is required. Not the teachers and everything. The everything required for practical things. Minimum 40% practical, 60% things. At least you should stand on this foot and outside. It's for private business or something they will do. Thank you, sir. Vivek Garu, would you like to respond to Mr.
Okay. As a historian, what measures have been taken, I think, to reorient the entire history towards Telangana? There is not a single book and the political history, or I think cultural history. I have attended all the Andhra conferences. The midway simply they remove. They do no Kutubjali or anything. Completely a historical commission. Where I think we discussed it, what kind of message should be.
Yeah.
Two different.
Now, see, this is a very, very important question which we discussed at length in the commission because, wherever, as I said, in the syllabus, wherever there is Andhra, we said it should be Telangana. Of course, history, from states reorganization onwards you will have, but definitely Telangana history from Qutub Shahi, Asaf Jahi, and then the movements in Telangana, whatever movements, whether tribal, peasant movements, whatever movements, they should all be there. But another thing that's what I stressed, when you are writing, whether it's Andhra history or Telangana history, what is important is, what are your sources? How are you writing that history? It's not because I like someone, so I say everything nice about Telangana. I like something, so I say everything nice about this region. That's not the way history should be written. And I think, that is very, very important. And history department people, the historians who were there, and most social sciences agreed that we should look at historiography, sources of history, and definitely we need to write history of Telangana. We need to write it, I think that process is starting, and I'm sure, some good books will come on Telangana. But that does not mean completely erase the past and write it in such a way that, that you can't do that, So, Andhra people are saying that we'll remove everything Telangana, which is, I think, nonsense,
So much emphasis on Shatavahan.
Yeah.
So much interest in Vijayanagara.
Yeah.
We have attended all kind of arches, all
Absolutely.
monuments.
Yeah, I totally agree that we should have a history of Telangana. Look at the, all the, various, how should I say, stages and various periods in Telangana history, whether it's Qutub Shahi or Asaf Jahi, everything should be done. And I'm sure our historians will do a good job. Thanks.
One question. Why don't you close this Andhra coaching centers in my area? The number of coaching centers was nearly 60 to 70 coaching centers are there.
Hostel.
Coaching centers.
Coaching centers. But they're all, see, this is why I said it's a very, education system is not simply, we can't discuss it in 1 hour. If you ask me, I would say coaching centers have done a lot of harm to our education system. I think, they've taken away our students from universities, from colleges, and they have, joined these coaching centers. I think, they've done a lot of harm to our education system. I agree that we should get rid of them. Whatever coaching you have to give them in the university. Why can't we do it in the universities? What are we doing in the universities? Absolutely. And I tell you, I'm sure many university people might get angry with me. I know many teachers who have hardly taken 2 or 3 classes in a year. It's a sad situation, but we must improve our education system, and I think one of the ways is to do something about these coaching centers. And in the university you have, prepare the students for service exams, teach them properly, I think. So many things are there to be said, and I can't. Okay.
No, I would like to also say that we have to equally blame the universities for this situation. Yeah. So any more questions, sir? Huh? Sorry? Close చేద్దాం. నేను ఇంకా అక్కడ ఉన్నారు జనాలు వస్తున్నారు. చెప్పండి సార్.